Hello, people. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to take a moment and make a short video about why I think Progressive insurance sucks. I did have them personally as an insurance carrier a few years back. I had another insurance company, one of their competitors, for many, many years, and it got to the point where their price was unacceptable, in my opinion. So I listened to the Flo commercials, like everybody else does, and 15 minutes, save 15%, blah, 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 yada, yada. So yes, I switched to Flo and the gang, and I did save some money initially in the first 6 months. But then what they do is every 6 months when your policy comes up for renewal, they jack the rate up several $100s. And after about a year and a half or so, I was actually paying more than the previous company I was with that I left to go with them, that I had been with for, probably close to 20 years or so. So I canceled them and went with another carrier. That's not the main reason I think they suck. The main reason I think they suck, and what a lot of these little icons on the screen here that you're looking at are, my wife was involved in an accident with somebody insured by Progressive last October of 2022. And the person they insure was 100% at fault. They were cited by the Highway Patrol. And Progressive, upon reviewing the police report, admitted 100% financial liability for the losses. The main reason I think they suck is their way they do their evaluations when they write a vehicle off as a total loss. My vehicle was an older vehicle. It was a 2002 Chevy Silverado 1500 heavy duty, which was a special model they only made for about 5 or 6 years. It was basically a 3/4 ton truck made to look like a half-ton truck, but regardless. So when they write a vehicle off, if it had been a newer vehicle, they have a database of vehicles that are sold in the area and the prices that they have sold for, that they can research, and they evaluate what your vehicle condition was prior to the accident. And that's one of the main problems with this system, is their appraiser, who by no means is going to be any friend to you as the person who suffered the loss. Their job is to save their company as much money as possible. So they appraise the condition of your vehicle, and then they look up that vehicle in their database, and they find 2 vehicles that have very similar options in the exact year and the exact model of your vehicle that was wrecked, and they find out what those vehicles sold for within a certain mile radius of where you live, so it's the same market. And say they find 2 vehicles, they find what they sold for, they add them together, divide by 2, boom, there's your offer for what your vehicle was worth. Again, based on what they say the condition of your vehicle is. Well, since my vehicle was was 20 years old, pardon me, they couldn't find 2 of them that had sold recently in the local area. So what they then do is they called 2 dealerships in my area, spoke to a salesperson at each dealership, basically gave them the year, the model, and what they said the condition was, and said, what do you think the vehicle's worth? One person said it was worth this amount. The second person said it was worth this amount. They added those 2 figures together, divided it by 2, and that's what they offered me. The problem with that is while I investigated this and did some research of my own, I reached out to both of those dealerships and both of those salespeople, one of which was nice enough to contact me back. And he essentially said that they do get these phone calls from time to time. They try not to entertain them or encourage them because they're a waste of their time. The company that is doing the research for Progressive is a company called Total Loss. They do not give the salesperson a VIN number so that they can look it up and see what options the vehicle had or anything like that. They just call them and say, we have this year, this model, in this condition, what do you think it's worth? And the salesperson point blank said to me, I just gave him a bullshit figure to get him off the phone. And that's what Progressive is using to evaluate the worth of my vehicle. And Progressive, when confronted with this information, doesn't give a shit. They literally say, we did this, we evaluated your vehicle, this is what we're offering you, we do not negotiate it. I had even done upgrades to my vehicle. I added a satellite radio. I added special towing mirrors. I added a $500 airbag helper spring suspension kit. So I did like close to $1,000 worth of add-ons. I had receipts for them. Nope, no reimbursement for that either. So what I got here is, this is what they're saying my vehicle was. The headliner was in good condition. It was a 3 on a scale of 1 to 5. The dash, multiple large cracks. Condition poor. Okay, that's fine. Here's the dashboard. Yeah, there's multiple large cracks there, and there's a reason for that. That's the accident. The frontal impact of this crash cracked the windshield and also caused the plastic dashboard to crack. But they attribute it to prior damage. They said the glass was okay. Again, a 3 on a scale of 1 to 5. Nothing here is over a 3. The seats were fair, a 2. Significant wear. Okay. Here's the passenger seat. Back is perfectly fine. Yeah, there's a little bit of, GM uses a bonded leather, which is a faux leather material bonded to a woven back. So there's a little bit of cracking here and the woven back is showing through. No rips, no tears, no stains, no holes, nothing. And the same seat close up, that's what I'm talking about. A little bit of flaking from the bonded material, but if I was going to trade this vehicle in, I would have actually bought some of the automotive dye and sprayed this, and that would have all disappeared. The driver's seat is the worst of the two. And again, this is just where the bonded leather came separated from the woven material. That's the woven material, that light color. There is no, that light color right there, you can see the mouse. There is no rips, no tears, no holes. The seats are still 100% fully intact. But this is what they consider significant wear. I'd hate to see if this thing has actually been torn and holes, what do they consider that? And also, again, a 2 on a scale of 1 to 5. And that's the only 2 issues with any of the seats. The back seat was in immaculate condition because we hardly ever used it. We didn't have kids, and after 20 years, it was still immaculate. Next on the list is the carpet. Significant wear, a 2. All right, let's look at the carpet. Oh my God, look at all that wear. Look at all the holes. Yes, it's dirty. I'm sorry. It's a used we use the vehicle. We drive it, you know. It has some dirt on there. We had floor mats in there. I removed the floor mats because they were actually a Christmas gift from my wife. Christmas before this accident happened, and they had hardly any wear on them. So we took the mats out before they inspected the vehicle. And yes, there's some dirt there. Here's a close-up of the significant wear. That is just where, over the 20 years that the vehicle was in use, the mat may have rubbed back and forth on that carpet. But again, a vacuuming and a steam cleaning, all of this would have went away. And this is just under the driver. That's the only two pictures they took, was the driver's area. The passenger area, on the passenger front side and the rear side, the carpet had no issues whatsoever. Back to our sheet. The trim for the exterior, a single major piece of trim is missing. Well, okay, yes, it was. There was a single major piece of trim missing. Back to the picture of the car at the accident. It's right there on the ground. It was supposed to be there. So yes, it was missing, but only because it was knocked off the vehicle by the vehicle that they insured after my wife hit it when they turned in front of her. Why are we getting dinged for that? It's right there on the ground. Wasn't missing. Whatever, Progressive. Sorry, Geico. My bad. Body, multiple large dents, right there, body. Over here, multiple large dents. I love this one. Wait till you see these multiple large dents. Driver's door, right there. That's a little door ding that anybody in the world has probably gotten at one point or the other in a parking lot. Next, right there. Again, my first wife backed into another car in a parking spot, bent the rear bumper, dinged the back corner of the quarter panel. Picture of the same area and showing the ding on the bumper. 3 parking lot dings, they classified as several major dents. Seriously? All right, back to our sheet. The final thing is on the exterior, the paint. Poor quality repair, 1 panel. All right, let's look at that. What they are referring to is the roof of the vehicle. I bedlinered that. I know people that have bedlinered their entire vehicle. But anyways, the reason for this roof being bedlinered was my wife and I used this vehicle as our road trip vehicle. And I was going to put like an overlanding type roof rack up here, which mounts permanently inside the door openings. And it would make it extremely difficult to wash and wax the roof with that thing up there. There's not a whole lot of space between the bottom of it and the top of the roof. So I scuffed the roof down and I coated it with bed liner because it's UV resistant, it won't fade, it won't chalk, and I wouldn't have to worry about maintaining it any longer. So while they consider it a poor quality repair, it is actually the exact thing I wanted up there. So again, that's a matter of perspective and opinion. So again, I know it's a 20-year-old vehicle. It had low mileage because we actually bought a third vehicle. So both of us had vehicles that we drive every day, and this truck was a backup truck. In case one of our other vehicles were in for repairs, we had a vehicle to use without having to rent something, since it was paid for, and we used it for our road trips. It was 20 years old, but only had, at the time of the collision, 133,000 miles, which is about 70 to 90,000 less miles than it should have had if it was driven every day for the entirety of its life. As you can see, with the exception of the large dents like over here where the mouse is and where the trim is missing, and the crease here along the bottom where, again, that was all caused by the vehicle that she hit, you can see the rest of the vehicle, the paint's not peeling, it's shiny still, it's in good condition. Here's the only one I got of the other side. You get to the fenders. There's that little door crease right there I was talking about. That's a major dent. All of the bedside here, all of this down here, the paint's not peeling off. It's not flaking. It's not rusted. The truck wasn't rotted out in any way, shape, or form. It was a Southern vehicle. Either it was bought new in Florida, lived in Florida for 17 of its 20 years, and then went to North Georgia. So no road salt or anything. These are the original aluminum wheels. You can see they're not corroded or anything. So the truck was not a piece of crap. Certainly, in my opinion, it was not. When I drove that thing and pulled into a fast food restaurant or a hardware store or something, the number of people that said, "Hey man, nice looking truck," or "Hey man, nice truck," or "I like your truck," they're not saying that if it's a piece of shit. I'm sorry, but they're just not. So anyways, they offered me $10,750 for this vehicle. I can't replace it for that. And again, they're evaluating that on at least one salesperson who gave them a bullshit figure just to get them off the phone. I sent them proof. 4 vehicles I found, same year, same model, not the same options. Mine was optioned out. Leather, automatic this, automatic that, power this, power that. It had it. Here's one of those vehicles. This one was an LS and didn't have the options mine had. $14,995. Another one, $15,900. This one was almost identical to mine, except the interior color is different. Other than that, it's almost an exact match. $15,900. Here's another one, the LS version, the lesser model without all the options, $13,995. And this one actually, if you look at if you bought this ad up and looked at it, there was a huge dent in the right side. The driver's seat was cloth and was torn and had a leather patch sewn in over the top of it. And the tailgate handle was missing. Still $13,995. And finally, this one here, $15,500. I gave them those as proof, but it still was not good enough. They would not budge on their offer. So that's my story. And I just want to elaborate here as far as the vehicle values. I'm not saying that Progressive should have showered me with tens of thousands of dollars. I do not expect a new vehicle. I do not expect a relatively new vehicle. I only expected enough money to be able to buy exactly or as close to exactly what I had prior to the accident. And they're not doing that. As I shown, there was 4 vehicles for sale throughout the United States that were the same year and same model, even though not the same options on a couple of them. And every single one of them was at least starting at $2,000 more than what they were offering me for my vehicle. I would have been happy with any one of those 4 vehicles I showed to buy as a replacement. But they're not giving me enough money to do that, let alone reimbursing me for the upgrades I had done to my vehicle, which I would then have to turn around and do to whatever other vehicle I buy, because we have a 5th wheel travel trailer and I have a gooseneck trailer. So I need a tow vehicle, I need helper springs, I need a 5th wheel hitch, so on and so forth. I need the tow mirrors. like I had done to the vehicle that was destroyed by the person they insured. That's all I was asking. Why am I not being allowed by Progressive to have, after the accident, exactly what I had prior to the accident without it costing me thousands of dollars? It shouldn't. I shouldn't have to put $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 out of my pocket to have another 20-year-old vehicle because they didn't give me enough money. That's not fair. And that's what happens when you let the prisoners run the prison. So if you're thinking of using Progressive as your carrier, watch out. You've been warned. You'll save some money initially, but after a year, year and a half, 2 years, you'll be paying more for your insurance with them than you were probably paying for the company that you had, that you left to go with them. And if you're ever involved in an accident with somebody who is insured by them, and if you have to put in a claim with them to cover your losses, God bless you. Because they just don't give a crap. They just do not care about anything other than the bottom line. And that's just that simple. So I wish you all well. I hope you liked the video. It's my first on my channel. I'm going to be posting videos on occasion, just about random stuff, nothing in particular. Sometimes just my thoughts, like this video. Sometimes it'll be about some household repairs I do, or some work on my cars. Going to be kind of a well-rounded channel. And I hope you subscribe to it eventually. And at least, like I said, give me a thumbs up. And I wish you well in your life. And we'll talk at you soon.